Welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. Alright, you guys, on this technical episode of Voice of the Rings, we're going to talk about items and qualities. This is a very important thing to know because items can get very confusing when there are thousands in the game, right? So we're going to open our inventory with I or click on one of our bags in the bottom right. Boom. Alright, so here's what we got. I'm going to start with showing you the different levels, okay? So there are different color schemes for levels to help you out, but here are the things that you need to know. So for example, this is an item that I bought off a vendor close by. It's for the level 5, minimum level 5. You notice it's got a gray background, right? By the way, when I hover an item, it shows what I'm actually wearing. That's why it says what's equipped. The item I'm hovering is to the left, that little panel that's showing to the left there, right? As you can see right down there. I'm actually going to move this item drop thing to here. There we go. All right, so that item, it's showing now. Let's talk about it. That left item there from the top. So obviously, it's the picture of the item, the gray background of the item, which color scheme matters in the back of the item. Then we have the name of the item, the padded jacket, correct? We have the item's level. It's a level 5 item. So, and it's a light armor that I have. It gives you the stats, which then in case this, it only gives you 159 armor, and its durability, which does matter if you are knocked out in combat or if you've taken a lot of hits in a fight. This durability will go down. Over time, it will break your armor, and then you will have to go to a normal generic anywhere vendor that can repair that armor for you, and then you can repair it to full. And it just costs some silver or copper or whatever at that time you are on the level. It shows the minimum level that can wear the armor. So the minimum level our person that can put this armor on is level 5. I could put this armor on, but it would be rather useless compared to the armor I'm wearing for my level. And then it gives you a little description at the bottom, paddage, it's just a little comment. Sometimes they'll put a little fun comment at the bottom, right? So again, this is important to know. The durability thing will show up in the top right, usually right here near your mini map. It shows just like a little armor set. And it'll show like yellow if it's damaged, or a little bit, or gray, yellow, and then it's like red means your armor broke or your weapon broke. And if you hear the ka-ching, this like loud sound like that in mid-fight, and then suddenly none of your abilities are working except for maybe like your stomp or voice abilities, your weapon just broke. You either need to run for your life, or you need to put another weapon on from your inventory real quick and right-click it and put it on, even if it's a bad one, because you need to be able to hit things, right? So that usually doesn't happen very often early in the game, but that happens when you're doing raids usually, and you're taking thousands of damage from bosses, right? Or you're blocking. Parrying damages your weapon, blocking damages your shield, and taking hits just in general damages all your armor over time. It's just a generic system in that way. But anyway, we're just talking a little bit about that, but I'm telling you that about so you can understand what the durability means in the armor. So again, now there's different levels of qualities. What is your quality, as Lord Faramir would say? And we have to show our quality. So here's what we got. So purple is usually a better version, crafted version. So I'm going to go open the crafting thing here and show you a quick thing. So let's say I'm going to go to these heavy armor pieces, right? And if you notice, a more lower level generic item will be that you crafted that's good is going to be yellow. Usually really bad level items are going to have this grayish background, yellow. If you have a critted item, it's usually going to be a purple background, right? Now, okay, a purple one you craft, and it's then blue. Blue is even better. And then there is a gold hue that's different than this yellow hue. See this yellow hue over here? It's got like a yellowish. I'm sorry it's so small. I'd like to make it bigger, but it just, I don't know how, you can't expand the size of the items in the game, only the words. So if you notice, like, see the background of this weapon I'm using? This is a legendary weapon. We'll have a whole episode on legendary weapons because it's a very complex thing that only Lord of the Rings Online has done in this game. It's really cool. They're kind of weapons that evolve with you, but we'll talk about that more later. But anyway, we want to talk about the higher level color, right? So the highest level color has a similar hue to that yellow. I'm going to open my vault here at the Vault Keeper, and I keep a lot of extra armor around, which will happen. Well met there, Dwarven Sir. All right, so as you can see this color here? It's a slightly different color than this yellow hue. If you can see, it's more like a bright gold, and even the words are a slightly more orangey gold color instead of this yellowish hint. That is like some of the best armor usually in the game. Now, something that you have to remember with these color schemes is that they're representing a certain level of color. So occasionally you'll get these color schemes in low levels, for example, right? So like this is a level 20 item in this crafting thing. But if I go to here, And I find another, if I go to craft something else, and it also will have a yellow. Let's see if I can actually find something that's similar. But anyway, like this is a purple one. It should be not as good as the blue one, correct? Well, that is not the case because it's level 115 item instead of a level 15, right? It's a difference of 100 levels. So that is something to keep in mind. It helps you to have these color schemes to kind of know, oh, these are better pieces of armor, right? But it also matters if you look. Technically, the blue color should be better than the one I have equipped. But if you look at the minimum level and the item level, the one I'm wearing that's yellow is an item level of 405, which is different than the bottom is what you care about with where you are, right? It's the minimum level of your character that can wear it, right? Max level in the game is 130, so I can wear these glove pieces I have on that are equipped. But at the top there, it says the item level is 405, compared to the one that I'm hovering in my old inventory for. I kept it for looks. Its armor level, its item level is 88. So there you go. And there's also a die, like where you can change the color of the actual armor. And again, you look at the armor by holding control and then clicking on it, and it brings up the dressing room thing, and you can kind of see the armor. You can click these to zoom in. So see, if I go through a lot of the gloves I own, you can see I have all these different cool looking cosmetic gloves. That's the only reason I really keep them, right? They're cosmetic. But that does matter end game. So if you have one of these items, and it's, let's say this minimum level of this item is 125, and it's got like a item level of really, really high, like 500, it's going to be like an end game item right now because we're level 130, right? So this is not, because this is a minimum level 100, and its item level is 182. I hope that is understandable to follow. It's just to kind of give you guys a feeling of how items work with the colors in the background. Again, there's also like this brown backing that's usually used for the instruments. There's this color that's usually used for either tasks or things you turn in, like this pile of scraps I could turn in for some gold. This blue is used on items, and it's also used on these. There's certain items you'll learn over time what they do. This is an item for legendary weapons. I'll talk about that in another episode. These items are actually, you'll get sometimes, they'll increase your virtue. Remember I told you guys about the virtue system in that other episode right here? So whatever you're clicked on is what you're going to be earning. So now if I use this item, it'll put towards that. See how it gives them towards that particular one? So those are things you can earn to use for that. In the crafting episode, I told you could get crafting accelerators. Look at this. I have a 100% craft XP boost for 10 minutes. So if I craft a bunch of stuff within those 10 minutes, it'll give me a buff up here, and I'll get an upgrade, right? So that's how that works, right? So I just want to keep that in mind for you guys. Here's hope tokens. We also talked about the hope system, right, on the previous episodes. So I could use one of these, and it'll actually increase my hope, so my HP will go up, and I will counter out dread if I'm fighting someone like the Witch King or something in an instance that would cause dread. These are some maps are like our travel skills are just cooldowns, and then some are like they use up. Like this one, it says right there, if you read it, it says it's bound to me. I got it from an anniversary event from a quest, and it says it's consumed on use, and I have 2 of them. If you look, there's always a little number next to it. If it has a stack of the items, right? They stack, right? There's a limit. Every item has kind of a limit to how much it can stack, or if it can stack. It really depends. I really suggest you guys think about getting upgrades to your items slots with your turbine points if you earn them. It's nice to have a lot more item slots. I also suggest if you get use it to get a large crafting all. So instead of half your inventory holding crafting stuff, you got an extra 50 slots to put crafting in. And again, this is what crafting looks like. All items that are for crafting have this weird greenish hint behind them usually. Not always, but most of the time they have that weird greenish hint. They try to keep it consistent with the game so you can kind of understand it. Cosmetic items usually have this weird little like thing, or if they use them. So this is a firework one, so I can right click this and actually will place a firework on the ground. It's kind of cool. It has a little firework pinwheel just for fun, and that can be reused. It's not one time. It doesn't say it's consumed on use. So that's just kind of for fun. But anyway, so these are all important things to know. If you have a specific question on a specific item in the game, or if you're confused on something, please just leave a comment or send me a comment in the messages, and please like the video. But I will go into more detail on certain items. There's so many items in the game. I don't want to do a 2-hour video and have to collect all these different items to try to go over every single item. It's unrealistic, and I want to make this fun and as simple as possible for you guys to learn and enjoy the game, because that's the point. This game is awesome, and we should all love it. I'm missing, oh, wrong one. There we go. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys, for watching this episode on items. I will leave anything in comments myself if I think of something else later that I might have missed, but I think that pretty much covers it with how to read the item, what item colors usually mean. It does matter on the levels, so like you can have an item that has that really awesome gold hint that's like the highest level item you can get, but it's only usually for its minimum or level. So if you get a really cool item for a level 50, it might have that gold color, but you might have a purple item that's technically a lower color, but it's for a level 80, so it's a better item. So that's something you have to keep in mind, but it does help. So if you get something in an instance that you're on level and you get it and it's blue or purple or that gold color instead of the yellowish or gray, it's yeah, you did a good job, guys. That's a good item to get. And do make sure, again, you got to make sure it's the armor you wear, the heavy armor, or if it's used for you. There's certain legendary items will have different people can use them. Like some people, rune keepers are the ones that can use rune stones, legendary things and stuff, or these sticks things. I'll explain that in the legendary items video. But anyway, thank you so much again for watching, you guys. You have a great day, and I am your host and guide, Zullen Ironshield, and we will see you again on the next episode.